Hello and welcome back to Mirror Interpretation Todorova. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ioana and I am an interpreter and a polyglot. And in today's video, we are going to talk about how to interpret for a drunk person. You can barely understand what they are saying. What do you do? This question was made to me last year by GRCK4208. This is it takes me some time to answer to all of those comments, and also it takes me some time to decide on which topics I would do videos, as my time is limited. However, I think this is very interesting question because we do indeed have those calls and there are no protocols, no indications on how to handle those type of situations. And this is why I am here today. We are going to talk about how to talk or interpret for a drunk or intoxicated person. So I just want to mention a few things for us interpreters, especially medical interpreters or even in legal. I have encountered that in any kind of settings or topic or environment. So I'm gonna clarify something for all of us before we jump to conclusions that somebody is drunk. Yes, indeed, it does happen if you work for the police or 911 or the emergency. There are some people that are intoxicated. I interpret for people that were on mushrooms, on marijuana, on pills, on LSD, on powder, and the effect on their brain is very similar to alcohol intoxicated person. However, I would like you to know that there could be another reason, a different reason why a person it's having unclear speech. And the reason number one is stroke. Believe it or not, when people have stroke, no matter in what age, their brain function and the function with their pronunciation of a word is affected. And that's why for them it's difficult to speak. I do quite a lot of speech therapy with people that have had stroke or are going to recover or are doing the recovery after stroke, and we all speak. So people that have stroke have exactly the same unclear speech as an intoxicated person, just so you know. Then the second thing that can happen with drunk and stroke people, this is muffled speech, muffling, or speaking too fast. In stroke, it's too slow. When they are drunk or they have the number 4 reason is psychological problem, they can speak too slow or extremely fast to muffle and stutter the words together or bite the words together. And this also could be another problem, which is called logopedical problem. Some people have speech problems. That's why they go to specialists called logoped. At a speech therapy, logoped is Bulgarian. Forgive me, guys. It's my day off and I'm trying to make the best of it. So logoped is a speech therapist. So people that have problems with speech, with pronouncing R, L, M, N, U, P, D, a lot of people A, U, a lot of people have those problems that are not related to alcohol, stroke, or intoxication, mushrooms, drugs, or something like that, but they are just having a problem to speak. And usually this problem occur in a young age. This is including stuttering, muffled speech, people that try to speak too fast or as fast as they think. There are many reasons to have these speech problems. So just be mindful that when you are on a call and someone exhibit those type of mispronunciation, fast speaking, too much speaking, too slow speaking, no speaking, or muffled speech, or alphabets or sound. The reason could be many, and here I give you 5 or 6 of the medical reason, and there also could be neurological reasons that brings to this stuttering problem, and normally one of those is post-traumatic stress disorder or experiencing of a high stress at a young age that bring people to lose their ability to normally speak because they're still experiencing this stress, and especially when they're emotional, especially when they want to say something important. And the number 7, I believe, would be autism or learning disability disorder. Any kind of a disability disorder or disorder of memory or learning, or it doesn't have to be full autism. It could be just a learning disability or something like that, or HDD. These people would have exactly the same speaking problem. I have profound respect for people that are working on that, and you as an interpreter, us as an interpreter, we need to be aware of that. I would like you to be aware that there could be many reasons why somebody is speaking unclearly, and I just named some of them. So be mindful, have in mind that the reason could not always be alcohol or drugs or marijuana or any other kind of mushrooms, LSD, MSD, or anything like that. Unclear speech. Okay, so we said the reasons why somebody have unclear speech, and now I'm gonna give you effects of those. It could be unclear, it make no sense, mispronunciation, or putting together several words or saying sounds that have no sense, or making just sounds like a, o, u, e, I, or humping sounds, sounds of pain, sounds of joy, sounds of excitement, all of those coming with this previous reason that I discussed, why somebody could have this type of speech that you as an interpreter do not understand. It's a range of variety of reasons that we don't know, and this could be no sense, muffled, unclear, just sound, difficult to follow. And the number 3 most challenging thing that it comes in this session is they do not pause. Yes, people that are intoxicated, people that are under severe stress, people that are in therapy, I do therapy sessions too, people that have post-traumatic stress disorder, people that are intoxicated, drugged, use mushrooms, use any intoxicating substances, people that are under severe medication, people that are under severe pain or under severe stress, and people with mental health disorder or disabilities or problems, or people that usually stutter, have problems to speak because they do not make breaks. There is no pause. I have interpreted several sessions. The lady would go for about 10 minutes. And of course, I would be able to follow because she is narrating a story or sharing what happened to the son, to the grandson, and they killed him, and whatever happened there that caused her to have this extreme severe stress. The problem with no pause are several. You cannot make such a specific notes, and you cannot be precise, especially if you're hired as a consecutive interpreter in medical setting, doing therapy, doing whatever you're doing, like a speech therapy, stroke, whatever is that. The problem is the pause. And then now I will tell you what I do when I have those type of sessions. So in all of those type of sessions, there is 2 type of provider. Provider number 1 will let you know in the beginning of the session we are doing a session with a stroke or with something, we're doing speech therapy. The moment, or swallowing evaluation. The swallowing evaluation test is done to people that have problem with the trachea, or they have post-stroke or post-infarct or post-something, post-anesthesia, or they're having a history of problems. So when it's a medical setting of evaluation, I would know that the person is impaired. And if I know that the person is impaired, I'm gonna instruct them to speak slowly and clearly to assure accuracy. Usually those sessions requires a lot of repetition because the people's brain function are slowed down. So we do those evaluations for children to evaluate them for autism or learning disabilities as well. Same thing, slow and easy. It's what is going to help you. I'm going to go to the point GRCK 42808 when we go to the drunk sessions. So if it's therapy for people that having a mental abilities that are fine, but they're suffering from some disability of speech therapy, stroke or something, they will clearly understand your instructions, and if you provide clear, respectful indications, they will tend to respect them. Provide the same instructions for the English speaking provider, so they will understand why you're doing this request, to assure quality, to assure better interpretation, right? In all those cases that we do those therapies, we are aware, we do speech therapy, it's clear and it's easy to handle, in my opinion, by giving indications. The number two, if we are doing mental health encounter, no, the mental health and drunk I will leave the last. If we're doing any kind of a speech therapy encounter where it's unclear, or there are sounds that have no sense, or there is words that we don't understand, what I'm gonna do is I am gonna, if the sounds are A, O, or sound of pain, I'm gonna pronounce the sound, and in my culture, if it's oh, it means it hurts me. In Bulgaria, oh, it means that somebody is in pain or discomfort. So I'm gonna say the sound, and I'm gonna put a clarification of pain or discomfort, sound of pain. But if there is sounds that does not make any sense, like sounds of any sound, I will say body sound, unclear alphabet pronunciation, something not clear. So the parts that are not clear, usually when I take notes, I will make this sound. Let me show you what I write. I will write this symbol. This symbol in mathematics, it means nothing or nullifying everything, but literally for my brain this means that it's not clear, I don't understand. And then when the person starts to say words that I understand, I'm just gonna take notes. Usually when those sounds happen, they're related to something. The doctors are doing something, the nurses are doing something, so they will understand. Yes, indeed, I will use sounds, not clear, muffled words. Interpreter did not get any sense, muffled words, and then whatever you get, you're gonna interpret. Muffled word, bicycle, muffled word, bicycle. You're gonna say not clear sounds, word bicycle, going, cinema, eating dinner, I like oranges. I would do exactly as I hear it. In some cases, especially mental health and psychiatrical prevention, suicide prevention line, you're gonna have a lot of those, and this kind will train your brain to relax and try to do your best as much as you understand. that was the number 2 hacks. If the person is not crazy or not drunk or not intoxicated, we don't know if they are crazy. My apology, that was disrespectful. I mean, if the person is obviously going through something that we don't understand, but we're still trying to do our best during speech therapy or something like that, it says no clear, no understanding, no sounds. Let's say that the person are mental health facility or suicide prevention line or emergency. They are drunk. Let's start with drunk or intoxicated. This is the number 3, the worst case scenario. The patient is intoxicated, heavily medicated, oxy, moxy, morphine, whatever is the same thing as illegal drugs. The oxycodone can give exact the same effect. Or extreme use of alcohol and marijuana and other illegal substance. The effect is the same, muffled, unclear speech, and again, no pausing. I would request them to pause, please pause, and if they don't, I will just start speaking from the beginning of the message. And normally when you speak with them, their special part of their brain will make them pause. They will understand that it's time to pause. I would normally request them to pause. If they're drunk, they would not pause sometimes, or if they are heavily under substance use or intoxicated. I will apologize, apology interpreter. I'm just gonna interpret, speaking together with the patient, and I'm gonna read as far as I get the message. And they're like, yes, we know the patient is out of control, so you will continue interpreting whatever you get, if it's in the emergency or in the hospital. If you are working for a drunk person for the police, which happen quite a lot, they get arrested for disturbance of the peace or different reasons, I don't know, vandalism or something like that, and they're intoxicated. Again, the police will instruct them to be respectful, and they would actually be more obedient, I believe, in the police department, and a little bit less where they're in the emergency room for losing consciousness, for overuse of alcohol or other substances. So in both cases, just if I don't get the whole thing, I just do the pieces of the words, something, 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 something. I can switch to simultaneous and just bulb the words out. If it's really necessary to know what's going on, I can do this as well. But do not try to make sense of it. This is the worst you can do as an interpreter. Just put it out the way you hear it. It's a very difficult exercise on your brain. I did quite a lot of interpreting session last few weeks for Macedonian, for mental health, suicide prevention clinic, and the lady would go in very long sentences, not much making sense, about her life, about the garden, then about the dog, about the daughter-in-law, and something. So just try to focus on what is making sense, and then exactly the spirit of the message. If it doesn't make sense, if it's completely crazy, I would just read the words that I understand, and then I will clarify. Interpreter is speaking, I'm apologizing, it doesn't make sense, but I'm repeating exactly what the patient is saying, and they understand. They do understand. And I believe that's what I would advise here in those type of sessions. That's my best advice. GRCK4208. I know it's a long time that it took me to make this video, but I do hope it helps you to do your best at these very, very hard interpreting sessions. Thank you for being here, and bye-bye.